What's up, gang? It's Thursday. That means we have some Olympic weightlifting technique for the clean. We'll be using PVC or a broom handle to go through this. So much like in weeks past, we're working on developing a good front rack without the assistance of some weight on the barbell, and then we're going to work on the posture at the bottom of the squat. So through your thoracic spine, and then like control and mobility through your hips. So this should be a good one. As usual, I'll walk you through it and then give you some demos. I have included a link in the comment or in the description for the 10-minute warm-up for this week. So when you do come time to do the workout, I would recommend starting there. Make sure your body is nice and warm and receptive to this stuff before jumping in to this technique work. So we're gonna begin after your 10-minute warm-up with 3 cycles through a 45-second prayer stretch. I have a variation here I'm gonna show you today. And then 5 cycles through this kind of hip, knee, and ankle opener. So you'll do a knee push each direction. You're gonna do an internal rotation each direction, a thoracic rotation each direction, and then you're gonna try and get your head down to the floor and hold it for 5 seconds. And you'll go 5 cycles through that. Then the next section, we'll go 3 rounds through of 10 slow motion muscle cleans. And then 10 front squats with a 10-second lower, or a 3-second lower. Then we'll go 3 rounds through 10 kneeling hops or 10 standing tuck jumps, whichever feels more appropriate for you, followed by 10 hang power cleans with a PVC. And then last off, as always, we have the 35 reps for quality of a full squat clean with a PVC. So breaking that up into small chunks, but getting 35 good reps. At the end here, this is the last week of this little recurring cycle. Next week will be something different, but we're gonna go 8 rounds through every 90 seconds, and you'll do 3 sets, or 3 reps here, of a power clean plus a front squat. Power clean, front squat, power clean, front squat. And if you've been doing this for the past couple of weeks, the idea would be to add weight to one or all of the sets that you have there. So let's check out some of these moves. Okay, variation on the prayer stretch. If you have access to a lightweight dumbbell, you can add almost like a strength element to this. If you've ever done a prayer stretch before, you are already aware of the strength requirements just to hold yourself in this position. But when we're in the prayer position, we're just gonna hold the dumbbell right in the kind of crook of your thumbs there, and we're gonna hover your weight and your thumbs just like an inch or 2 above your shoulders when you get into it. So I'll show you the full variation here, but if you're using weight, go ahead and get set up with your elbows just narrower than your shoulders. If you remember here, you're going to pull your knees back and drop your head as low as you can, drop your chest as low as you can underneath here. Then I'm gonna tuck my butt and I'm gonna lower this weight so that it's about 1 inch above my shoulders, and I'm gonna hang out here. So I'm driving my elbows into the bench to prevent me from falling over, and I'm keeping my core very engaged. So I'm not letting my back droop, I'm keeping my butt tucked under and my abs nice and tight, and I'm just gonna hang out here for 45 seconds. Once you've made it to your 45, you can slowly come out. Make sure to put the weight down safely. And like I've said many times before, this is a great opener for the, like where the lats and the triceps insert here in your arm, so you'll have a better rack position, make for better overhead positions, so things like handstands and push press and jerks will all be made better as a result. So 45 seconds of that, followed by a little hip, knee, ankle opener. So you're gonna get down into a squat, and we're just gonna go through this 1 rep at a time. So you're going to do a knee push to your left, you'll do a knee push to your right, then you're going to do an internal rotation on your left, internal rotation on your right. You're gonna get a thoracic rotation left, thoracic rotation right, and then last off, giving yourself some sort of target and trying to get your head as close to the floor and then hold it for 5 seconds. So one more time. We have the knee push. I'm blocking one knee and pushing the other out as far as I can. When I do the internal rotation, I'm trying to collapse at the arch of my foot and keep the whole inside edge of my foot in contact with the floor. If you can't go all the way down, just go as low as you can. Maybe even give a target. Other side. On the thoracic rotation, once again, blocking one knee with my elbow, trying to rotate as open as I can with my chest. And then finding a target. If it was easy the first time, make it a little bit lower. 5-second hold at the bottom. So you'll make it through 5 cycles of that routine, and then back onto the prayer stretch, going back and forth through 3 rounds here. Next set of drills, the slow motion muscle clean. So what we're trying to do here is groove the pattern of a clean in slow motion with the PVC. So I'm going to get set up with my feet underneath my hips, so a little bit narrower than I would squat. Hands are just outside the legs, and if you haven't already been doing so, hook grip this, so thumbs go down, then you're going to wrap the rest of your fingers right over your thumb. And from this start position, so right at my shins, I'm going to come up, clear my knees, scoop into this upright position, shrug, elbows go high and wide, and I'm going to come around into the best rack position that I can. I know the rack position is very difficult with PVC, but I want you fighting for it under your own control. Got an alert on my phone saying I'm running out of batteries. I think we can finish it. So once again, set up underneath the hips. We're going to start at the shins, come up past your knees, scoop to an upright position, shrug, elbows come high and wide, and finish in a good rack position. As you transition from these high elbows into a rack, feel free to let your hand open so you don't have to maintain the hook grip the entire time. So I'm hook grip through here, shrug, elbows are high and wide, and then as I transition my elbows underneath the bar, my fingers can kind of open and loosen, and I want to get into a good front squat position. You can hear the bar pushed into my throat. That's normal. You'll feel it. So we'll do 10 of those. And then you can keep the pipe or the PVC or the broom handle up in the front rack position, and we're going to go for 10 front squats. On each of the front squats, we're going to take a 3-second lower, and I want you to get full breath, full tension through the body as you go through this. The idea, like I said in the beginning, is to gain control and ownership of this range of motion without the assistance of some weight to kind of push back against. So I'm going to fight for the best rack position that I can. Belly's nice and tight. My feet are a little bit wider now. I'm going to take a big breath, hold it, and then 1, 2, 3, and then stand. If you need to do a full reset each time, it's understandable. I know it's only PVC, but there's a whole different challenge when it comes to this that's unweighted in nature. So get another rack. Belly's tight. Big breath. 1, 2, 3, and stand. You're going to fight for 10 of those. 3 cycles through. It's work. I already feel it after 2 repetitions. Great way to rehabilitate or just develop this position. Okay, 3rd cycle through. We're going to do some kneeling hops or some tuck jumps. So we've done this in weeks past. You're going to start on either the tops of your feet or the balls of your feet. Experiment here. Make sure there's some clear space around you so that if you bail, it's not going to knock any teeth out. But the idea is to work on some extension, so some really violent extension like you would when you jump, and then some quickness of your feet to get back underneath. So we're down here. I like to start all the way open, so like as tall as I can be from my knees. Belly tight, butt tight. And then I'm going to go back much like you would do like a broad jump and try and jump up into this position. And then land. Try it again, this time from the balls of your feet. It's a little bit different. Fight the urge to rock back and stand up. It's a quick jump off the ground. So I'm extended, belly and butt's tight, and stand. What feels almost impossible in the beginning, if you're newer to it, will improve over time, so give it some shots. And if you don't feel comfortable right away, maybe start the first few rounds or even the full day today with the tuck jump. Same idea. This time you're gonna start standing, but I want you to be fully extended, belly, butt are tight. My hands are over my head. I'm gonna swing my arms back, ideally so that on the back swing, my arms are at least parallel to the floor, and I have this forward hinge, very much like a kettlebell swing. It's almost the exact dynamic here. So as I swing back, I'm gonna swing forward and I'm gonna try and jump up and tuck my knees. That's one. These are meant to be for quality and for explosive power here, so we don't need to do 10 back to back to back. I want you to get a full reset. Should have had someone standing next to me. I'm pretty sure my feet cleared 6 feet, but who knows? You guys will have to try it out for yourself. So one more time. Great way to develop some hops. Nice, kind of power and explosive drill when you don't have access to a whole bunch of weight. So you're gonna pair that with a hang power clean. So just working some quickness through the clean and trying to utilize this now maybe more open rack position that we've been developing so far in the session. So starting nice and tall, belly's tight, butt's tight. I'm gonna hinge back so that the bar or the pipe here just gets to about my knees. I'm in the hook grip like we had before, and I'm going to aggressively stand and shrug and then quickly drop into a power position into that front rack. So from here, and I'm sticking every landing, trying to see how the rack looks, how it feels. If you're someone who has pretty good access to the rack and this is fairly easy, consider dropping lower. Maybe not to a full squat just yet, just maybe a little bit higher above that kind of hip crease, getting even with your knees. So a little bit lower catch, but still power. Get set at the knees. And stand. So we'll go for 10 of those, back and forth with the kneeling hops for 3 rounds. Final piece with the PVC, as always, 35 reps for quality, broken up into however many smaller sets you need to make sure these are great reps. 35 squat cleans. This will come from the shin, go through the full range of motion, and try and catch it in as deep of a squat catch as you can. Great time to video yourself, good for providing your own feedback, or if you ever want to send it to us over here, we can check it out and give you some good notes, things to work on. But feet are underneath the hips. Start at the shins, everything's nice and tight. I'm gonna come up past my knees. I'm gonna scoop, stand and shrug, and then try and fall into the deepest squat that I can. I think if I reviewed the video there, I was probably falling forward here is a great way to, like I said, assess what you're doing and then on subsequent rounds try and improve that. So I'll try and improve that rep right here. So I'm set. Gonna take a few calibration reps to get used to where the extension and then the fall is without any weight, but like I said, that's the challenge of this PVC work here. So like I said, 35 reps there for quality. And then at the very end, if you have access to a barbell and you're still feeling up to it, we'll go every 90 seconds for 8 rounds, 3 of a power clean plus a front squat. So if you were doing this in weeks past, you would add a little bit of weight. This will be the last week that we're going through this kind of orientation here. But you'll come from the floor, come up past the knees, power clean and stand all the way up, and front squat. I don't know if you heard it on the video, but at the top of that rep after the power clean, big breath in and brace just like we did with the PVC to get a good quality front squat. By this point, our front squat position should be about as warm as we can hope for at this current part of our development, so hopefully you're able to capitalize on that and get some good repetitions in that posture. So one more time, feet underneath the hips, start at the shins, catch, big breath, and stand. 3 of those every 90 seconds for 8 rounds. Have fun with it, and yeah, let us know what you think.